Well, that was obviously not just disappointing, it was embarrassing. I mean, we just, I knew Arizona was a game that was, in hindsight, scheduled after that long trip was difficult. But I really felt that when we came back today, we would have some energy and, good crowd and exciting to be home. And unfortunately, we didn't have any of that. And, it's humbling, and we've got to bounce back in less than 24 hours. And sometimes that can be a good thing, but it's daunting right now because our guys are shook, and that's the best way to put it. We challenged ourselves with a tough stretch, and then we come home and felt like, these are two games that we could compete better than that, and so we've got another chance tomorrow to try to rectify that. But give Fresno State credit; they came and jumped us early and just kept the pressure on and dictated that game for 40 minutes.
All right, well, I'll open up for questions.
Coach, speaking of Fresno and jumping on you guys early, can you talk about the team's slow start?
Well, we've been slow starting. That's been something on this trip, and it's turnover plagued. And again, to open the game, missing a couple free throws, and then throwing away the inbound pass, it just set the tone of, oh no, here we go again. And we got to get some confidence. That's part of the thing with turnovers. You have to be confident with the ball. You have to be strong with it. You have to slow down. And sometimes when you start turning it over, it becomes it makes it worse because you again get so cautious with it that you that you get intercepted or lose the ball. And so we've got to find that balance. And again, I like these guys. I think this team's going to be able to compete, in the Big West. But today, as shows, we're a long ways from that, consistency.
Heading into tomorrow's matchup with Stanford, what do you think you guys need to improve on most after playing Stanford?
Well, it's going to be hard physically to improve on much. We've got to mentally get ourselves back a little bit. I mean, we played poorly today, but we're not as bad a team as we were today. I mean, you got to flush it in your mind and mentally come back. And if it was embarrassing, you've got to come back and physically, fight and physically together, band up and be a better basketball team. And I think this team has some character, and I think it's going to do that. But it's going to be a long 20 hours to go see that happens.
Yeah, are you satisfied with the leadership on the court, or is this team still trying to find themselves as far as who they look to?
No, I think Gabe Levin and Timothy Yusuf have been really good captains, but Timmy's been hurt and Gabe's coming off an injury, and they're all finding themselves as leaders. They're finding themselves as, who's gonna, take shots at the end of the clock. I mean, it's a new group. It's just, we've been improving. It's just we took a step back. And one thing about improvement, it's usually not a steady climb. There's anything you improve in life, there's always setbacks. And today was a big setback. And how we responded tomorrow is important. And that's my job to get them, to get back and get back on track. I mean, they just hit us right off and just derailed us from any track we were on. And we got to get back on track tomorrow and compete better, execute better, and stay together better. We really splintered off and tried to do too much on our own.
You see anything in the second half from a couple of your second unit guys that stood out?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we're a deep team, and I think we've got some guys that bring different things. I mean, Jordan Griffin has been tremendous this year, coming in and giving us some offense and being very aggressive and confident. And his confidence, last year he struggled with that all year, and now he's a sophomore and you can tell that he's much more confident. We got to get our team more confident. I think KJ Byers gives us energy off the bench. We have Timmy coming off the bench. I think Edon Maxhumi is going to be a really good point guard, but he's young and is a freshman. So I like our bench, but it's a lot easier to come in when you're down 35-6, and there's no pressure on you. So we've just got a lot of things to work on, and unfortunately we don't have a lot of time. You know, the preseason, the way the NCAA's got it now, there's just very few practice days, and we're gonna play 16 games in the first 2 months. That's an average of 2 games a week. You got to take a day off, you know, in each week. So I mean, you're only talking, and then there's travel involved in all that. So our amount of ability to work on ourselves is very limited. And like tomorrow, I mean, really, are we going to get up at 8 in the morning and work on our execution? I mean, that's not realistic. Our guys are tired, and that's not an excuse. It's just a fact. But we've been on a long road trip, and like I said, that Arizona game was a bad scheduling move, not to play Arizona and challenge ourselves, but to put it at the end of that trip. And I think our guys are still trying to recover from that. But when you tee the ball up and you have a crowd like that and enthusiasm in the building, you got to let your adrenaline go, and we have to compete better than that, no matter how tired we are.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, Deb.